Nitty Scott, MC.
Knowingly,
Static Selector.
gracefully,
Doing my dance.
dance for me.
Doing my dance. Doing my dance. Doing my dance.
I say born in Grand Rapids, made in Florida, paid in New York. And, you know, it just summarizes what happened. I was born in Michigan, and I moved to Florida when I was very young. I was raised out there, you know, I grew up out there. Then when I was 17, I moved to New York. So I think that it definitely translates in my music, even in the language that I use. You know, it's like you can tell that I'm not just from one place. I think, you know, I can have a real East Coast vibe. I think I could take it down south. You know, I think it just is a real reflection of all the places that I've been. Even my parents, my father being from New Orleans, he's a country boy, very sort of wholesome upbringing. And then my mother is from Puerto Rico. So even that is a part of who I am. Okay. Hold up, I think I'm about to throw up. Cause all they wanna talk about is how they got their dough up. Grow up, connected like an internet provider. I'll be hungry on the road. Keep a rapper on my rider in a bag of Snyder's with a side of apple cider. And if she say real talk, I probably won't invite her. I'm a slicer on a viper with a cipher in a cipher. Like to puff the lottie cause it ease me when I'm hyper. Ha, now that was heavy for an intro. Fall behind cause they just not synchro. Nice with the confines of my freaky mind. They sneaky in the line just to hear my freaky rhymes. No need to panic, this is strictly organic. I meet a vegan criteria. Cooking in the cafeteria, woman of color minus the faria. The only culture that you know is bacteria.
Nitty Scott, MC. Y'all familiar?
Let me show you how you can be a beautiful woman that's on top.
And that's real.
You should tell somebody your story.
My mother told me how to do that.
That's why I'm gonna tell you now. Before you ever
My last show at Southport when I was opening up for Fred, there was a girl that came all the way from Philly. She had her mother drive her all the way from Philly because she was like, Ma, it's Nitty Scott's last show of 2011. And she was in the front, she knew all the words, she was screaming, like, and that was just the first time that ever happened, and I was like so touched, like, it was crazy. And it reminded me of being that age and like telling like my mother, like I was into like the Backstreet Boys and all, like, you know, pop or whatever, and I remember telling her like, the Backstreet Boys, like, they're in Tampa, like, we have to drive out there, take me. And it's like, for another little girl to be like, Ma, like, you know we gotta go to the Nitty Scott show. Crazy, not used to it.
Yeah, okay, when I say Nitty, you say Scott. Nitty, Scott, Nitty, Scott. So when I say Nitty, you say Scott. Nitty, Scott, Nitty, Scott. Yeah.
New York shaped me. When I say, I feel like I can say that I grew up in New York. And by that, I don't mean that I came up from a young child to an adult in New York. Not at all. But the transition from being a teenager to like a young woman, that happened in New York. Finding myself and maturing and deciding who I want to be, and you know, and I'm still on that journey as well as a young person, but actually acknowledging those transitions for the first time and saying, you know, this is, you know, the type of character that I want to be, and this is what I want to represent, and this is what I want to go against. So many things happened to me in New York. I dealt with a lot of the just realities of life, you know, and I had to fend for myself, and it was about survival at one point in time. It was about maintaining the basics, be it a roof over my head, a way to get from A to B, whatever the case may be. Held down so many different jobs. Like, it was just real life stuff. You sort of take everything that you've been through and you use it, you know, even if it's ugly things, even if it's, you know, being at the complete bottom. You take that and you flip that energy and you channel it into something. And if I can make, you know, somebody else's life easier by sharing the knowledge and the experiences that I've been through, then that's what I'm going to do. So I think that's how New York definitely helped to shape me. It's definitely wasn't easy, and it was a long time before I could even pursue what I came out here to do. I feel that as an artist, failure is something that you have to address and get over. Like, it's as simple as that. I think you have to be honest with yourself and think about the ratio of people who are actually successful, who, you know, pursue this music thing. It's a kind of a low percentage, you know. There's a lot of people that say, you know, mama, I'ma make it, and they don't. So I feel like you have to be real with yourself, and you have to say, there is a chance that this will not work. There's a chance that this will work and then not work later. So it's like, you have to be very honest with the possibility, but at the same time, you can't let it scare you. You can't let it paralyze you from actually going out and doing what it is that you need to do. So, you know, I tell my manager all the time, my goals inspire and terrify me at the same time. The things that I imagine doing, it scares me so much, but it's not enough to keep me from actually pursuing it, because if these things do come to life, then I did it.
I just be stepping.
Somebody recognized me in the middle of Times Square today.
It was kind of cool.
amazing.
It was kind of cool.